Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today with a grocery empties, a kitchen empties. These are all the products, or most of the products I've been through in the last couple of months. And I'm doing this with my good friend Elle at Ellis for Living. And we love to do these so that we can let y'all know what's working for us, what's making us feel good, what we've changed in our diets. Just kind of share our diets and what's working and not working for us. I will say real quick before I start, I am grain-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, egg white-free. I eat yolks. I watch my carbs and my calories. I try to get around, like 11 or 1,200 calories. That's what I feel good on. You may think that sounds low, but with the way I eat, everything is pretty much fresh. So it's kind of hard for me to get it up that high sometimes. And my carbs, I shoot for 50 to 100 a day, sometimes less if I'm trying to get rid of bloat. So anyway, I'm going to jump right into this and show you what I'm loving in my kitchen. Okay, and I'm going to start with this bag of greens and salad mixes. This is probably a mix of, this is baby spinach, spring mix, and then I have a kale in here. And what I do with these is I don't eat a lot of salads at all. I like salads, I just don't eat a lot of them. I make green drinks with these. I'm back on the green drinks. Last time I did one of these, I was off the green drinks. Well, I'm back on because I just feel better with them than without them. Now, I'll tell you, with a green drink, it's easy to feel bloated. What I put in them, I drink a pint jar. This is the one for today. And I drink a pint jar a day. And this just has no fruit in it. It just has spring mix and kale mixed. That kind of takes down the green taste. It's got 2 big carrots and a whole cucumber. And that allows me to get a good handful of veggies. And I will just sip on this so it doesn't make me bloated. So, but green drinks, they are real easy to bloat you. But I feel better on those than off of them, by far. I can tell a huge difference since I've been on those. So that's all the greens, and I do at least one of these a day, sometimes 1.5. Then I have almond milk, and this is the unsweet, and this is my cream in my coffee. I do coffee, and I do quite a bit of this. I would say half and half, coffee and this. In my Magic Bullet, I don't do butter anymore because I've cut off, the extra calories in the morning. Haven't really noticed anything either way. But the unsweet silk almond milk, that is what I use in my coffee. All right, then I went through some green beans, and I do green beans a lot at night, like a bunless burger. And then a side of green beans. I like green beans. And it's an extra veggie. And I just really like them. It's just a good way to get more green. Then I went through a ground turkey and a lot of nuts. I eat either a turkey patty or a hamburger patty. And I put cream cheese and mayonnaise and ketchup and tomato and sometimes lettuce, onion, like a bunless burger. And then I'll do a side of sweet potatoes, green beans, some veggie. And it is delicious. It's really good. Okay, my next one. I cannot recommend these for the health, but for the taste, these are delicious. The Katz gluten-free glazed donut holes. And this is a giant cheat. One box of these is 900 calories. And I usually cannot even stop with one box. I usually have to have 2. So I really, maybe once a year or twice, I can't keep those at my house. They are too delicious and they just wreck my diet. But for a cheat, or if you have more control than I do, they are delicious. The Katz donut holes, the powdered donuts, they're all delicious. Okay, the chicken and maple breakfast sausage patties. I like to do these. These are no antibiotics, no hormones, no GMOs. These are so healthy, and I love them. I like to do about 4 of these for breakfast with my green drink. and they're just delicious and good for you. 60 calories a patty, and I usually have 4 or 5 of them with a green drink, and they're delicious. Okay, then I went through an Acerola powder. This is vitamin C. Ellis for Living told me about this, and I put this in my Electrolyte, and it is delicious. It's a tart cherry. So I do my Electrolyte, and that's berry flavored. Add this, and it's like a sweet tart over crushed ice. That's my treat every night after dinner. Okay, I went through some eggs, and I don't eat a lot of eggs. When I do yolks, because I have found through trial and error that the white does not make me feel great, but I can do the yolk fine. So I'll do 3 or 4 yolks and sometimes a piece of sausage. I should do more so I can get more protein in my diet. You know, I love the eggs, but I don't do a lot of them. Okay, I went through some Angel Sweet tomatoes. Okay, y'all. I had not too long ago, if it's come out yet, in my favorites, a dish that I am eating so many tomatoes. And it is, I'll put the recipe down below, spaghetti squash, and then I make a sauce of tomatoes and cream cheese in the oven. It is delicious. I put some kind of protein over it. The Angel Sweet are delicious. My favorite tomatoes, if you can find them, are Flavor Bombs. I get those at my H-E-B, but if you can find Flavor Bombs, they're on the vine, little on the vine tomatoes, and they are delicious. Okay, another spinach. I never miss my green drinks, y'all. Okay, then I went through some walnut halves, and a lot of days before I work out, I'll grab a little handful of walnut halves and a little handful of cranberries before my workout. I've done that for years, and it helps me make it until a really late breakfast. The fat and then the little bit of sugar from the cranberries will really tide me over, sometimes all the way till dinner, but definitely a really late breakfast. And I love the walnut halves. I leave those in the freezer. Those and pecans, I love them. Yep, there's the cranberries, and I do this and the walnuts. I like to do a fat with these so the sugar doesn't go into my bloodstream too fast. That is perfect for workouts. Okay, next I went through a chicken breast, a canned chicken breast. I have discovered something I love to do with my chicken salad, and that is I will stew chicken breasts and make my chicken salad with just, I'll put the recipe down below. It's just mayonnaise and a little bit of sugar and a little bit of salt. And then I put that in the fridge, and then as I eat it, I can add whatever I want. But I've discovered that I love to add a little bit of canned chicken, a can of chicken in with my fresh chicken. It's delicious. I don't know, it adds like a different texture and maybe a saltiness, a little more salt. That is delicious in my chicken salad. But I like to add it with the fresh. Okay, I went through a natural Jif creamy peanut butter. Because I had it, I usually use Justin's because it's cleaner. But in my green drinks, I forgot to tell y'all, I always add a fat because the fat slows the absorption of whatever sugar's in it. So I've discovered I love a couple of tablespoons of peanut butter in a big blender, and that's divided into about 3-pint jars. So I would say each one of these maybe has a tablespoon of peanut butter, just enough to add a little bit of a nutty flavor. I either do that or avocados, but more often than not, it's the peanut butter, and it's delicious. Okay, y'all, I have gone crazy for olives, and I love keeping these around because if I'm real hungry but I don't want to eat yet and I want a snack, I will eat a half a jar of olives. I love them. Green, Greek, organic olives. They're delicious. Now, these I didn't care for. I didn't like these. These are Mario blue cheese. Oh, it sounded really good. It was not good. The olives were kind of soft and mushy. No, I think that would be delicious in a firm green olive like these were. These are the Rustico Castelvetrano green olives. and these were delicious. I think I get these at H-E-B or the health food store, and those are so good. Pecan halves, I eat these, or walnuts or almonds, and I keep all of these in the freezer. Grab the cranberries, a little handful of these, and head to the Peloton or the treadmill. Just really holds me over. All right, let me get another bag. Okay, next, I went through a Folgers half calf, and this is my favorite coffee, my favorite. I rarely use the Keurig anymore because I heard those can get real gunked up inside of them and not be as clean. So that really has me off most Keurig stuff. But every morning I make a pot of my half calf, and I love that. Since I went to that, I do notice that I have less cystic breasts. Caffeine really does a number. I don't think I've ever mentioned that, but I have a problem with cysts, a lot of cysts. And since being on that half calf, I'm not nearly as sensitive. Mammograms don't hurt as much. Okay, flavor bombs. This is the tomato I was telling you about. I keep about 4 or 5 of these in here, and they're delicious with that spaghetti squash. Oh, a tip on spaghetti squash. My friend Lori told me this, and it works so good. You know, in a spaghetti squash, how they tell you to cut lengthwise? Why? I don't know why they tell us to cut lengthwise. Cutting across on the short end of it makes it more pasta-like, and it's easier to cut. I soften it for about 5 minutes. Here's my spaghetti squash. I soften it for about 5 minutes and then cut it short ways. Put it in the oven at 420 for about 25 minutes or so. More sausage, and it is delicious. Okay, wheatgrass. Y'all, I found this at the health food store, and I put it in my back fridge with some scissors, and I would just cut off a little bit and put it in with my kale and spring mix. You couldn't taste it, but it's supposed to be so good for you. I really enjoy doing that. I'm going to go today and get another one. I haven't replaced that, but I'm going to. Limes. I squeeze a lime into my electrolyte drink and then add more of the tart. And it is so tart and so sweet and delicious over crushed ice. I'll put links to all that down below. More almond milk. Y'all, I go through so much almond milk, which is good because it's got calcium in it, and I don't even realize I'm getting it. But I put a ton of that in my coffee every day, so I'm getting a good amount of calcium. I bet I go through, that's a repeat, I bet I go through about 3 or 4 almond milks in a couple of weeks. Grass-fed ground beef. I am not as much doing grass-fed anymore. I don't like the taste of it, and I don't know that it makes a difference. It's expensive. I like regular 80-20 ground beef. Now, to use these up, I'm mixing these with my other ground beef. It's so much better tasting. And I used this for a long time and never really loved it like I love ground beef. So I do mix this, and that might make it healthier. Okay, pistachios. Y'all, these are so delicious. These are the sea salt and vinegar pistachios. They're so good. I can't keep these. I will eat half of this. And I can't stop myself. They're so delicious. Instead of a chip, that's what that reminds me of. Like a salty sea salt and vinegar Schlotzsky's potato chip. Delicious with cranberries, but I can't control myself, so I'm not repurchasing those. Okay, Sunsweet Amazing Prunes, and these are delicious. These taste like they have a little bit of a citrus undercurrent to them, and they are sweet and delicious, and I would sometimes do these instead of cranberries. I don't think about it very much, but I would. Those are really delicious. Carrots. I go through so many carrots in my green drinks. I also, if I make a roast, I like to candy carrots and do a little bit of butter and sugar on them. And I'm not really worried about those carbs because I'm grain-free and gluten-free, and just about everything I eat is fresh. So I'm not going to worry if I candy some carrots, and they're delicious. I need to remember to do that more. Another peanut butter. I'm really going through the peanut butter. now that I'm putting it in my green drinks. A can of yams, y'all, these are such a good side for a bunless burger. Anything that you would do like sweet potato fries with. I'm a little bit careful with my portion size, but again, I don't get that many carbs in my diet and I need some carbs. But no more carbs than I get. I don't worry about those, but I am a little bit careful, like half a cup. Okay, Kite Hill cream cheese. This is dairy-free cream cheese because I shoot for dairy-free. This is delicious. And I put this in my spaghetti squash. I put this on bunless burgers before I put the mayonnaise and ketchup. I will sometimes stir this into green beans. I will put this on eggs. Delicious. It is delicious on anything. I keep about 5 of those. It's delicious. Okay, I went through a ranch seasoning packet. I make my own dressing. I do this, a cup of mayonnaise, and a cup of almond milk. So it just barely has any calories. It's got the calories from the mayonnaise. But the almond milk, that makes that so much lower calorie and lower fat. Okay, I went through a flavored Kite Hill cream cheese. This was chive. This was delicious. This would be so good to dip carrots in or in eggs. I loved the flavor of that. Okay, I went through a Duke's mayonnaise, and I usually mix a little bit of this with, I have some vegan mayonnaise that's dairy-free. I don't worry too much about dairy, but I love the Duke's. And I put this in chicken salad. I put it in coleslaw. Put that on my bunless burgers, and I love the Duke's. Okay, then here's the Hellmann's vegan mayonnaise. And when I'm real worried about dairy, which is rare, you know, I don't really worry that much about dairy, but I kind of steer clear of it too. I don't eat a lot of cheese, and I do the dairy-free cream cheese. And sometimes I'll mix some vegan mayonnaise in with my regular. I'm not a real stickler about that. And it's good, but it's not as good as Duke's. More olives, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I have been going through the olives. I may need the sodium or something. And more olives. More. These were good. These are Natural Grocers organic Greek pitted green olives. And I think these were my favorite. These were delicious. All right. And that is all of my groceries. Y'all be sure and go over and visit Elle and see what she's eating in her kitchen. And that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.